Welcome into Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here on Ritter Communications, Tubetown. We are in for another Munford football game, the third one of the year. Chad Gatlin in here with Jay Harder. And tonight we see the Cougars face off against the Douglas Red Devils. And last week we saw the Cougars defeat Millington to get to 1-1 on the year. Douglas also 1-1 on the year, but last week suffered a huge loss against Collierville. It was 54-0, so they're looking to bounce back after that. Jay, we're seeing the captains at the middle of the field right now. Some of the guys we're going to want to keep an eye on this week. One guy whose name popped up a lot last week, Hunter Gill. Hunter Gill had 4 tackles, but he had that big block field goal on Millington's opening drive last week that stopped Millington cold, got Munford the advantage, and then later we saw him catch a 2-point conversion. So Hunter Gill coming up big last week for them. And also, as always, Akarius Hodgen came up big for him last week with 9 tackles and interceptions. No surprise out of the 2020 Defensive Player of the Year. However, it is not a region game. Cougars are 5A. The Red Devils are playing in 3A for the first time this year. They did not play last year. They scored one forfeit to Bartlett, but they didn't play at all last year, because, as most of the Shelby County teams did not because of COVID-19. This is your first trip to Munford, Jay, and you see the atmosphere and the band. What do you think so far?
I'm excited to be here. It's going to be a really good game. I think we've got in store for a great football game. It's a beautiful night. I don't think you can ask for better weather here tonight.
Absolutely. It's definitely maybe the best football weather we've had. I know a lot of bad things happened when Ida rolled through, but it did bring us some cooler temperatures.
Mm-hmm.
So every cloud has a silver lining, I guess, is the lesson there. Well, as I said last week, you saw Munford score a lot. One of my biggest surprises, though, was from this year, actually, is Avik White, the workhorse running back for Munford. He's got plenty of carries. He has not punched it in the end zone yet. He last week carried it for 143 yards. Still has not been used by Coach Calhoun in those red zone situations, and he's not punched it in. I expect that to change as the season goes on, but we are seeing them more and more progressively each week. Jordan Bell is getting more and more chances to throw the ball. Last week, 3 receiving touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns, rather, in addition to his 2 rushing touchdowns.
You got to love that you got 2 guys that can punch it in on the goal line, though, if you're Munford.
Oh, absolutely, and it definitely keeps the defense on its heels. And I know we mentioned it before on the broadcast, but Jordan Bell, it's worth mentioning again, as only a sophomore, already a Division I offer from Eastern Kentucky and other schools looking at him as well. So he's definitely going to be a player to watch over the next couple of years in the maturation, and just to see how great of a quarterback he can become. And they're becoming more and more confident letting him throw it down the field.
Only a sophomore, he's a young kid, so he's got a lot of maturing, like you said, to do, and already got offers is a really good sign for a young kid like him. Probably only propels him to work harder at this point in his career.
Honestly, until a couple of years ago, I don't remember hearing about any sophomores getting offers.
Yeah, absolutely not. You're absolutely right.
And it's still rare with a guy. A guy's got to be pretty good to already get an offer from any Division I school.
Somebody saw something somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. He is 6'2", 190 pounds, and so
big boy.
That definitely helps. Is that he's already that size and still got some growing to do, presumably. As we get ready for kickoff, we see the ref. So maybe some problems have carried on. Oh, they're waiting on the clock to run down.
I see.
Last week we had a little bit of a start issue with the clock right after the kickoff.
Last week I went to Germantown in U.S. play, and that was a 3-hour football game because of all the official deliberations.
Oh, really?
So maybe some early season jitters when it comes to synchronization between the officials and the game.
Early season rust is not just for players.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Looks like Douglas is set to kick this game off, though. Munford will receive. You're listening to us on the radio on Vintage Rock 106.9 or on 7:30 a.m. They're going right to left, on the radio dial. Acarius Hodgen feels the kickoff. He gets it up to the 30, and now he's got a lot of room up to the 40, now to the 50, 45, 40, and he's pushed out at around the 39 of Douglas. Excellent return for Acarius Hodgen, one of the stars of this Munford team.
9 tackles last week, I see on your notes here. 2020 Defensive Player of the Year, but he seems like a kick return threat as well.
Oh, he's absolutely a threat to return, and also a threat at wide receiver. He gets most of his props for his defense and his interceptions, but definitely a weapon on this team on both sides of the ball.
A low kick there, a little deep kick. Might outkick his coverage with a low kick like that. Gives him some space to run.
To the credit of the Douglas kids, the ones that pushed him out of bounds were the first ones there to help him get up.
And now we see Jordan Bell come out to lead this offense for the first time tonight. He'll have Alvick White in the backfield. He's got 2 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Gets the play from the sideline. Fakes a handoff to White. Now he's going to throw, going for deep, wanting it all. It is caught and touchdown. That is Mason Mattle, who scored the first touchdown of the week last week. And now again, it's Bell to Mattle for a touchdown, 39 yards, Cougar score.
1 play, 1 touchdown. I mean, I don't think you could get more wide open if you're the wide receiver right there. A great pass, hit him in stride, but he could have underthrown him there and still score, but that was a great throw and catch by the young fella.
A great way to recognize the soft spot in the zone, and now we'll see maybe a kick, maybe a 2-point conversion. You never seem to know. It looks like a 2-point conversion try right now for Munford.
It looks like it.
But now they'll line up for the traditional extra point. Braxton Brown, a good kicker for Munford. Put it up and through, and it will be 7-0 early. Only 29 seconds gone off. No, 19 seconds gone off the clock here in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be right back with Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Back here at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, the Munford Cougars out to a quick 7-0 lead over the Red Devils. 11:41. There's only 19 seconds gone off the clock, Jay, and 1 play and a score after an amazing return by Acarius Hodgen.
An explosive offense is what we call that, when you're able to propel your offense to a touchdown on 1 play. You love to see that from those kids, and like I said, a good throw and catch on the first play of the game.
Absolutely, everything worked out for him there. It was just a little bit of play action and allowed Mattle to find the soft spot in the zone and get to the end zone. Braxton Brown punching the extra point through. Now he'll kick it off, and we'll see what Douglas can do when they get their turn with the ball.
Brown, like you said, 30-yard long this year, so a really good field goal kicker for Munford.
Slight pause here as one of the referees blew the whistle.
Oh, extra man.
Yeah. They're going to allow him to run off with no penalty, and now call the game into play. Kickoff from Brown is picked up at the 25. He gets out to the 32 and is plastered. Wow. Just plastered by, it looked like, Cale Driscoll in on that tackle for the Cougars. No, it wasn't. It was Tristan Bohannon that first made contact. And Driscoll there to clean it up.
Big hit. A whole gaggle of Munford right there. A whole gaggle of players coming in there making that tackle. Gang tackling on the return.
I kept up with him to see how far backwards he went. And he landed about 2 yards from where that hit was made backwards. I mean, he got smacked.
And
that kickoff team's a tough place.
So I don't have the angle to see the quarterback's number right now. Unfamiliar with this team. He will take the snap, though, and hand it off up the middle and be stopped in the backfield. About a 1-yard loss there, but there is a flag on the play.
At the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
Maybe holding. It looks like in at quarterback it is Larry Watkins. Number 10, Larry Watkins for the Frederick Douglass Red Devils. Munford declines the penalty there. Pretty confident in their defense.
Apparently so.
2nd 10. And now the play's whistled dead again. And it being an illegal formation, I'm not sure you can decline the penalty because that would be before the snap.
That's what I was about to say.
And
well, it looks like they're going through with it anyway.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to let it roll, but so we will see Watkins will look for the snap, and he'll try to hand it off. Finally gets the handoff made, but it's tackled again behind the line. Munford showing up on defense tonight. Nowhere to go for the running back. That's Donovan Goldsby for Douglas, and he had nowhere to go. It was kind of an awkward handoff.
It was. A funny formation, too. Lined up number 3, Goldsby lined up next to the quarterback. Another player in the backfield looked like number 10, Larry Watkins, was lined up deep back there.
3rd and 13 now for the Red Devils. Going to send a man out wide to his right. Now it's a keeper. He's going to get tackled behind the line again. This is 3 negative plays here caused by this Munford defense as Dorian Green runs the quarterback keeper and is taken down. Tristan Bohannon and Mason Maddle in on the tackle there.
3 runs, negative yards the whole way. Tough to get something going there on this first drive.
It may count as a sack due to the fact that it was a quarterback run.
Right.
And so now it'll be Watkins that takes the snap for the punt. He will kick it. It's high and short and waved off by Akarius Hodgin. Takes a Munford bounce and settles down at the 39 of the Douglas Red Devils.
Same yard line they started the last drive from for Munford. So
they only took one.
Only took one on the last drive. Let's see what happens here. Was that the quarterback that punted that away for Douglas right there?
It was, although at last play he was out at receiver, and they were using, I believe it was Green at or Kirkwood one at quarterback. Maybe Kirkwood.
Versatile quarterback if he's punting it away and sitting in the backfield. You know, you never know which one you're going to do on 4th down. Maybe watch for that later in this game.
Munford runs man off, makes a substitution real quick for Tristan Bohannon as Bell will take over once again, 1st and 10 on the right side of the field, the Douglas 39. Handoff this time to Avik White. He's got a hole up the middle. He's got 1st down yardage and more. A gain of about 16 down to the 24-yard line.
Really big run there. A lot of space to work right there. He only had 1 tackler to beat to break it away.
Quickly to the line, handoff to White again. White through that same hole in the middle on the draw, and he will get about 15 yards again.
Another big run, 2 first downs on 2 runs, and they're getting to the line quick again.
Running this hurry-up offense, keeping them on their heels. They're lined up again, getting a call in from the sideline. Avik White, 2 carries, 31 or 32 yards there, and he'll just hand it off to him again to pay it off. He'll get in the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars.
First touchdown of the year for the young fella. So finally gets to punch one in after running really hard. Good for White.
Absolutely, Avik White, definitely a workhorse back. They don't spell him a lot in these games, so good to see him get a payoff there as they'll come in and line up in their awkward formation, and we'll see if they run the 2-point or the extra point. I'm looking to see if Braxton Brown is on the field. He is, so they may still kick.
And now they're bringing him back in.
And it looks like they will kick.
Douglas, prior to the
Cale Driscoll will hold.
on that very thing.
And extra points up and good again from the foot of Braxton Brown. Gives us a 14-0 Cougar lead. And we'll be right back with the kickoff from Ritter Communications. You're watching Cougar football.
Go on, girl. Go on and get help. That's it, girl.
Smart dog. With Farmer's Crash Assist, our Signal app can tell when you've been in a crash and can send help if you want it. Also, our Signal app can save you up to 15% on your auto insurance.
That's really something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmer's Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back here, Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, the Munford Cougars on Ritter Communication have taken a 14-0 lead over the Douglas Red Devils here. Game could get out of control quick if Douglas rather can't make something happen on this, Jay.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I mean, they need a big drive. They need a big drive here, maybe a first down, maybe just a positive play. They've yet to get a positive play thus far. So hopefully Douglas can get something going here, make this a football game.
Memphis D-line definitely came to play. Kickoff is short and to the right. It'll be picked up at about 25 and fumbled. And it looks like Munford says they have it. Let's see what the referees say. I don't see anybody from Douglas saying they have it. Bounced off his knee there. It does look from the replay like it was recovered by Douglas. Looks like Terrence Watson was able to jump on that, and the referees will agree as well.
It looks like the bumper.
That's one of those situations. Munford comes out of that pile. They're just pointing their way. They're hoping to God that someone wins the ball in the pile, and the refs are convinced by their pointing.
I was buying it because
me too.
I didn't see anybody from Douglas claiming they had it.
Absolutely.
I've only got one game that I'm going to be able to report on.
But heads-up play on that one from Terrence Watson to keep possession, keep the Devils in this one. That could have been a backbreaker.
Absolutely. It looks like two pooch kicks. It almost looks like a pooch kick that they're kicking to him. So interesting to watch that as the game goes on.
All right, looks like we're going to get Dorian Green at quarterback right now. He is going to keep it and run to the right, and he will get almost the last scrimmage, not quite, call that a loss of a yard.
So that's 4 plays now. Yet to get a positive play. Still waiting on that first one. It seems like up front, I mean, Munford is just destroying the offensive line of Douglas. They just can't get a push at all.
We've not seen this kind of dominance out of the Munford defensive line so far this year. They've definitely improved game over game. And, of course, hard to compare. Their first game was against Covington, which is one of the best teams in the state. But their second game against Millington, we saw a marked improvement, but nothing like the dominance we're seeing here tonight. Looks like we'll still have Green at quarterback right now. He'll pitch it, and there's a flag in the backfield, and it looks like after a gain of about 3 yards with the forward progress, they'll bring down Jermaine Richmond.
9 of the 11 guys on the field for Munford in the vicinity of that tackle. I mean, just players swarming to the football, and you love to see that out of a defense.
Absolutely. See what the flag is here as the refs talk it over. It could be offsides. The flag came out very early in the play.
You're right.
It is a false start, or a legal formation, rather.
One of the two, yeah.
You would think it would have been blown dead if it was false start.
But that's two now. They've let go on, yeah.
And Munford will decline the penalty once again.
I think the situation is once the play is allowed to go on, they're allowed to decline it after the fact. But you're right. If it's usually you see that blown dead before it even gets going.
Yeah. So it will be a third down now, and where they've spotted it's about 11. It's closer to 10, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 11, and they desperately need a first down here.
Running the ball again.
Hand off up the middle and stuffed. Nowhere to go. Big old Xavier Russell in there with the stop.
You might not see a whole lot of passing out of Douglas tonight, it seems like. It seems like they are married to the running game and running that little option with two running backs back there sometimes too, but one just pitched.
And they've got two players listed as quarterbacks on the depth chart in the backfield.
In the backfield, absolutely. And one of them's punting it away as well.
So we'll look for that punt now as they want their defense to step up and stop them up for drive. Flag on the play as Hodgin takes it off of a couple of bounces and gets a gain of about 2 before he's brought down.
Bold return on that rolling ball.
And we'll wait and see what the call is here from the referee. It will be another illegal formation and another declination by the Cougars.
3 flags thrown tonight, but 0 penalty yards so far in the game, which is surprising to see. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, the thing too, Jay, is like you usually see those flags come out when there's motion involved in the play, and I've not yet seen what they're calling illegal procedure unless the tight end's not getting on the line or something.
And that's what I was thinking. It's too many players on the line, not enough players on the line. One of those two, but that's something I'll watch for going forward here.
Well, Bell back in now to get at it again. They'll start this time, the first time on their own side of the field at the 48. Bell fakes handoff, and he'll throw deep. He's got a man. It is caught. It is Tristan Bohannon. He comes up with it over the top of a Douglas defender and all the way down to the 10-yard line go the Cougars.
If he'd have taken just a little bit of that air out from under it and
Quick to the line again. Cover 1 again from Douglas, and it seems like they'll throw the ball on you.
Hand off now, and it will go off the right side and be swallowed up after a gain of about 3. That was Aubrey Durham with the handoff there, and we've got a Douglas player down on the field.
First carry from Durham we've seen tonight.
Douglas player a little shook up, but he comes off under his own power. That's LaDavian Lemon. LaDavian Lemon, a big old guy, 6'3", 220. Second and goal here. And they will hike it from about the 7-yard line. Bell fakes the handoff, takes it himself. We've seen this play before. Right up the middle for the quarterback draw. Touchdown, Cougars. There is a flag on the play, however, so we will wait to see if this touchdown will stand. I already see a signal of decline, so the touchdown will stand. Jordan Bell with the quarterback keeper right up the middle. Touchdown, Munford Cougars.
Another sub-40-second drive, 39 seconds on that drive. Finally over a minute, Munford is on time of possession.
The Cougars came to play tonight.
You betcha.
Braxton on for the extra point. Up and good again. The sure-footed kicker.
3 really good kicks.
21-0. Munford Cougars. 6:01 still to go in the very first quarter of this one. We'll be right back on Ritter Communications.
Received a call about a cable box not working at Miss Betty's home, and while they're replacing the cable box, I noticed an extremely long cable.
I went to move my furniture around and it stopped working.
A long cable like that could affect signal levels and eventually cause her cable service to go out.
Michael took it up on his own and fixed it for me. Now I can FaceTime with my niece and nephew because we don't get to visit too often. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's how Ritter's making it right.
Right by me.
You're watching Munford football on Ritter Communications. Tubetown, if you have a Ritter subscription, also available streaming live on Facebook and on the radio on Vintage Rock 106.9 FM in Munford and 7:30 a.m. as well. Jay, it has been a barn burner on the Munford side of things so far.
Can't score enough, can't score fast enough. No drives over 3 plays thus far for Munford. They are scoring quickly, explosive, like we said, 2 big passes. And so really good, really churning on offense.
Brown kicks it off here. It is fumbled once again, but picked up this time before the defense gets there by the returner, and he makes two men miss, and now he's broken out in the open field, down to the 50, down to the 40, and he will get pulled out of bounds. A touchdown saving tackle by Cale Driscoll. That's what Frederick Douglass is looking for to get back in this game.
Great chase down and great tackle by Driscoll. He was about 10 yards behind the player when he started taking off and chased him down. Great tackle, really wrapped up well and pulled him down. Touchdown saving tackle right there.
And certainly a way to keep your coach from getting on you about dropping the kickoff.
Seems like Munford got a little too over-aggressive there on kick return. Everyone, when you're up 21-0 and they haven't had a positive play on offense, a lot of guys trying to swarm, really want to get those numbers up, really want to get a tackle, and a little over-aggressive, left some space to run.
It reminded me of when I played high school football, which was a really long time ago. But when I played, we had a kick returner that fumbled the ball numerous times on the return, but every time he fumbled, he scored a touchdown. In the backfield now, Munford coming in for the sack. Plays first broken up there by Ben Cerniglia, and then the rest of the Cougars come in there to finish it off.
I don't want to blame the ball carriers so far for Douglas because, like we say, they're not getting a great push up front, but not a whole lot of north and south running so far. A lot of dancing in the backfield. Get going, get that ball, and just get upfield a little bit.
Yeah, they're definitely not running off tackle. It seems like they want to run around the end every time.
Absolutely. It's strange when you haven't had a positive play. Maybe just get upfield, see what you can break a tackle, see if you can get something.
They'll come up to the line again here. Two backs in the backfield this time and an offset eye. Oh, and the snap. It never got in the quarterback's hands, but he will fall on it. It goes off of the back foot of the running back and bounces back toward the quarterback. Super fortunate there for Dorian Green.
Yeah, I will say heads-up play there to fall on that football. I mean, didn't even try and scoop it up. Just get on it. Let's get another play in here. But the way their offense is going so far, I'd predict to see another run here on third down.
The Devils cannot seem to get out of their own way in a lot of cases here tonight. Not sure-handed at all.
No fumbles lost, though, in the 3 fumbles they've had so far.
That much is true, yes. All right, so the Devils want a timeout to talk about this long third down. We'll take one with them. You're listening to or watching Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Back here at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, Munford with a lead over Douglas 21-0 as you watch Cougar football on Ritter Communications. Chad Gatlin, Jay Hartman in here with you. And Jay Hartman, excuse me.
Yeah, that's all right, no problem.
And we are watching Munford light it up on offense and defense, mostly negative plays. The reason you see the Red Devils, if you're just joining us on the 39-yard line of Munford, is because of an excellent kick return. They've not been able to get going on offense.
Screen pass.
Oh, and the Cougars see it, sniff it out, and take it down. Jalen Dowell on that one.
First pass of the day from Douglas. So at least we've seen that. Really not a bad ball at all. I know it's a screen pass, but you think they might throw a little more with that kind of arm like that.
And it was really, the play was open, and they had a Munford defender fall down. The other Munford defenders did a good job of getting to the ball after the pass was completed.
I'm certain they'll be going for it.
Up front. Definitely some big guys there up front.
I was going to comment on Munford's defensive line. Like, we've talked about the push they're getting, but, there's some big boys in their own right on that defense.
They've got 2 players, as our director just pointed out to me, 2 players on Douglas's team that go 280.
Quicker feet for the offensive line. They got to get the quick feet.
Another botched snap. And it will be taken down in the backfield. There is a flag on the play. Looks like it'll be holding.
Yeah. unnecessary holding. But I guess, it's fourth down. See what you can get.
Dorian Green couldn't find any room there and just kept running sideways until eventually taken down by a host of Cougars.
Tell you what, though, if there's a stat you want to keep track of, 4 fumbles now for Douglas. None of them lost. All that's a turnover on downs there on fourth down, but no lost fumbles on 4. At least that's some kind of protecting the football.
There's, quite a bit of struggling with the snaps.
Yeah.
They want to start getting up under center on this. Well, we get to see Bell in this offense again for the 4th time in the first quarter, 3:16 remaining. Man in motion, Bell takes the snap. He'll hand it off. He'll go around the edge and then cut his way back to the left side, make a few people miss until he is finally drug out at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of about 18 there for Jace Hodgins.
Little jet sweep going to the right, and then he cuts back hard to the left. On the left hash, the next play takes place on a jet sweep running to the right. A rare play, but a huge gain by the kid. Jace Hodgins.
There's not just one Hodgins on this team, guys. All right, Bell will hand it off to White this time. White will run off the right side. He's got a wide open shot, one man to beat. He makes him miss, and now he falls forward into the end zone. Touchdown, Cougars. And no, it will not be. They'll say his knee hit, and they will say he was down at the 2-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 2 for the Cougars. Big run by White.
Yeah, just a little short, but a really good run. Almost got in, just couldn't quite stay on his feet. But that's 2 big runs, 2 first downs.
Handoff right back to White. White goes right up the middle for the touchdown.
Stays on his feet.
Now we can say it right. Touchdown, Cougars.
This is a little short run. When you run one for 33 yards the play before, those last 4 3 yards, pretty easy there.
And good to see White getting a payoff. That's his 2nd score on the night.
Yep.
Like we said, coming into the game, he had not run one in. They had given it to the quarterback, Jordan Bell, the last 2 times they'd run it in, but already has a couple here tonight. He's really getting on the board in a big way.
They seem determined to pay off his hard work tonight as Braxton Brown kicks the extra point up and through, and the Munford Cougars, with 2:20 left to go in the first quarter, lead this one 28-0. You're watching Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
Busted off some really big-time plays now.
James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Back here at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium. If you're following along on the game on Facebook Live, don't forget, if you're a Ritter subscriber, you can watch it on your Ritter TV package. Tubetown Channel 11 here in West Tennessee. The games are live every Friday night. We've got every Munford Cougar game this year. And we'll have replays for those of you in Arkansas watching the Arkansas games live on Fridays. You'll be able to see replay on Tubetown 21. You'll be able to see replays starting tomorrow. We'll also have the game up on YouTube on Monday. That's the Tubetown YouTube page. Of course, you can watch the replay immediately after the game on the Ritter Communications Facebook page.
Another 3-play drive for Munford. They just can't get that 4th play. Douglas just can't force that 4th play yet in this game.
And the kickoff from Brown, fielded cleanly. He's got it. He makes Tristan Bohannon miss and is able to almost get past, but not quite. Mason Mattle said, no, no, no.
Great tackle by
Not going to happen.
Great wrap-up, great tackle there by Mattle.
That's what I like to see, honestly, Jay. I like to see him teaching wrapping up at this level.
Mm-hmm.
It bothers me so bad in college and the pros. And to me, it would make the targeting rule a lot easier if they would just make the rule that you have to be attempting to wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not, it's a penalty.
Right, absolutely. And speaking of things, you know, that you want to see done a little bit differently, you know, I've been thinking about this one the whole game with how much Douglas is struggling. Every snap they've taken in this game is in the shotgun. Isn't that something? They've run the ball all but one down, and every snap they've taken in this game has been in the shotgun. If you're going to run the ball, line up under center.
Yeah, absolutely. They are in the shotgun once again. Got one deep man, one to the right. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Goes nowhere.
Stuffed.
Donovan Goldsby unable to get anything going for the Red Devils there.
And they're getting Goldsby hit a few. I mean, he's going right up the gut. Credit to Goldsby. We were just talking about wanting to see a little more north and south running. He went right up the gut there and just got stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
But also credit to the Hog Mollies.
Oh, yeah. They're getting a big push up front.
Xavier Russell there on the line for Munford. Mason Lemon and DJ Vassar. Of course, Vassar was huge last week. 5 tackles, 2 for loss, and a sack last week.
Hunter Perry, I've been watching him on the D-line there. I really want to see him getting a few more. I mean, he's a big boy. He's got a big boy in front of him, but I really want to see him get a good push here.
2nd and 10 for the Red Devils. An odd sort of formation here, and it's a low snap again. He's got to pick it up off the ground, and the ball's down, and it looks like Munford's going to have it. Waiting on the official signal from the referee, and they will have the ball. It'll be Munford football.
3 Munford players diving on that football before 1 Douglas player gets down there. That's what you love to see. I mean, if you're Munford, you're seeing guys chasing down play, up 28-0, guys chasing down players on kick returns, swarming the football, swarming the ball on the ground. I mean, it's great football for Munford right now.
We just called his name, and it was hard to tell, but it looked like it was DJ Vassar that actually came away with the fumble recovery on that one, and first lost fumble of the night.
Yeah,
for Douglas.
And credit to Munford defensive line. We've been giving them credit all night for getting that push up front. That was 3 defensive linemen that dove on that football.
So we gave an announcer jinx to Douglas, but we actually gave a little help to Vassar. So
that's all we're asking
balances
for.
out. Bell's in the gun. He's got 4 receivers wide in the backfield.
Ball.
He drops the snap now. Bell does. He'll roll out to his left after he picks it up and almost throws a pick in and out of the hands of the defender. Ill-advised pass there.
Hit him in the chest, really. Watch this throw, though.
That's a good block by Alvick White, or it would have been a sack, and then that is just nearly picked off. He's looking for Akarius Hodgin.
I tell you what, you want to throw it to your team, but if you're going to throw a ball to the defender, that's a really good-looking ball to throw at a defender.
I think that was Charles Davis Brown that almost had the interception there. White getting caught up in the backfield now. And they're going to lose yards on this one. DeAndre Williams.
Talking about a jinx. Well, I might have just jinxed Munford by talking about the little things they're doing really well, up 28-0, and that's 2 plays in a row. You want to see a little more focus out of those young kids.
2-yard loss on that one. 3rd and 12 now from the 20. 4 receivers set. He moves White from the right to the left as Bell takes a snap, hands off to White. No, he keeps it for himself, goes right up the middle, and easy touchdown there on the quarterback option from Jordan Bell. Touchdown, Cougars.
Jogs in right there. His first run of the ball game, a big 18-yard run after the first 2 negative plays. Well, I guess an incomplete pass, but really the first 2 non-positive plays from Munford. Big response there with an 18-yard run.
The quarterback keeper, we know Bell can do that one, and he gets it in. Everybody bid on the fake. And he did leave it tucked in there a long time before he pulled it loose on the option.
A tackle took place in the backfield. It was such a good fake, so you really like to see that option.
Extra points up and good. It is 35-0. We're still not out of the first quarter, folks. You're watching Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
My name is Kevin Moody. Both of my kids do online gaming. They let me know when the internet's down.
I'm Bobby Valentine. I work for Ritter Communication, and I'm a technician level 2.
My services were completely out. They sent Bobby out the next day. He told me that the box was shot.
It was shot.
With a gun. And he had it fixed within a couple hours once he got there. Bobby switched out my modem for me and had me upgraded to a faster speed. And both of my kids have been singing Bobby's praises since.
Back here at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, the Munford Cougars in firm control of this one with 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Already a 35-0 game.
a lot of depth over here on the Munford sideline. So, I mean, one thing to look for is you're really going to get to see a good look at some young players and some big – I mean, you know, they might get some JV action a lot of times, but it's just different when you're playing on Friday night under the lights, all your friends and students watching. I mean, you might get some good reps for some young kids here tonight from Munford.
And we'd love to see that. May struggle with the names a little bit, not being as familiar with them, but we'll get you through it.
We'll learn them quick when they start making some big plays, hopefully. Great kick.
That's a great kickoff there, and it is not fielded clean. He can't field it at all. He's already touched it, and somebody needs to get down on it. Luckily, Donovan Goldsby did not recognize that having already touched the ball, it was live. DeMario Pride, however, did, so he gets down on it.
Heads up play.
So not as bad as it could have been, but they'll be starting from their own 9.
13 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Finally going to come to an end in this first quarter. But, I mean, truly could not have gone any better. You mentioned it a minute ago during the break, trying to break Collierville's record of a big win last week. 35 in the first quarter is a big one for Munford.
The only thing I can figure that Goldsby may have thought it would roll into the end zone, and then if nobody controlled it, it would still be declared a touchback.
Right.
But
too dangerous, though.
We're 9 yards out from there.
Oh, yeah. Way too dangerous a spot there.
So definitely a heads-up play there by Pride.
Let me ask you, if you're Coach Calhoun, how long do you keep your starters in there for in a game like this?
I don't think you want to take them out after the first quarter.
No, I agree.
I mean, you've got to keep going through the first half. Second half will be on a running clock with the deficit, so I would say wait till halftime.
Especially this early in the season. Want to get reps.
All right, taking the snap at about his own 2-yard line. He drops the snap and is met by 1, 2, 3 Munford players. Flag on the play, however, and it looks like it might have been a face mask.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about wrapping up just a minute ago, and Corniglia right there. He just didn't quite wrap up, lowered his shoulder.
Yeah, and it will be a face mask.
Good call.
And so that will bail Douglas out of that bad scenario. 15-yard personal foul penalty. He'll move the ball up. And it will be to the 24-yard line now.
Think of all the penalties we've seen tonight. That's the first penalty yards of the game.
That's true, yeah. I had not thought of it. That is the first penalty yardage. All the penalties have been declined.
Right.
But definitely saw that face mask come in on the third hit on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to shake off, too. And that is the end of the first quarter, so Munford will lead 35-0. We'll flip sides of the field and come right back to you watching Cougar football here on Ritter Communications.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Welcome back to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium here in Munford, Tennessee. The Munford Cougars in control of this one, 35-0 at the start of the second quarter. It has been a big night for Auvik White, punching in the end zone twice, and the quarterback Jordan Bell already got 3 scores through the air, right? And 2 scores through the air,
yeah.
1 on the ground, and Auvik White has 2 on the ground.
First half stats for Munford, 35 points, obviously 197 total yards, 117 of those on the ground, 80 through the air. So pretty balanced attack so far for Munford, and 35 points scored.
It's the most balanced we've seen this offense so far this year. We've saw them sort of reluctant to use the pass against Covington, open it up a little more against Millington, and now tonight with every passing touchdown gaining more confidence. But right now it's Douglas on offense as they just came off of a face mask penalty and got the ball out to the 19-yard line, which it seems like it had been spotted at the 24 when it was on the other side of the field. But they're not complaining, so I won't complain.
You're right. I just noted you're absolutely right, though.
Snap taken. Now it's a run to the right, design quarterback run. He'll go nowhere. Lose yardage as he is pushed out of bounds by Hunter Gill.
Another play, like you said, off tackle, just not getting much north and south. Really, every so often they'll try and run one inside the tackles, but another wide run and another big loss for Douglas.
Do you think, Jay, though, that it's the quarterback's hesitation? Dorian Green is hesitating as if he's trying to give the illusion of pass when they've not done that the entire game. And if he would just commit to the run and choose a line, maybe they would get a few yards.
I think you're absolutely right. Another one, and like I said a minute ago, lining up under center maybe. Just commit to the run sometimes. You don't have to always do this RPO. I know that's popular in today's football game, but sometimes it just pays off to just commit to something and go after it, especially when you're struggling to throw the ball the way Douglas is.
Well, it's true, and I don't believe it's an RPO because I believe these are designed runs.
Right, but
that want to give the illusion of a pass.
I agree.
It's just a delayed, a sort of a delayed draw or a delayed run around the end. But it definitely is not fooling the Munford defense because they've never done anything different.
No.
And that's why me and you both think they should just commit to a running path and go north and south.
Especially when the Munford defensive line is getting the push the way they are, it might just help to commit to something rather than try and fool the defense because you're not getting enough blocking up front anyway to fool anybody.
Munford took a timeout there. It's 2nd and 13 for Douglas, but Munford wanted to talk it over with the defense a little bit. First time out of the half for Munford. Both teams have 2 left. It's 10:57 to go in the second quarter.
And remember out of that last time, I think that was either a third or fourth down scenario. I can't remember when they threw that screen pass, but that was out of the last time out. So maybe look for something new from Douglas here. Maybe another screen pass, maybe some kind of different sort of play than we've seen thus far.
Well, the coach is going to try some different things. This is definitely not going according to the plan.
Yeah, of course not. Center's already on the football.
The last team that they had played was Union City up in Union City in the 2019 playoff.
They will stay in the shotgun. They'll put a man back deep behind the quarterback.
Almost a pistol look.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Snap goes. He looks to his right and then tries to run, but there was already a man on him. There was just nothing happening. I think they may have been setting up a screen pass there.
It looked like he was faking it, yeah.
But Hunter Perry in on the tackle, and that was it. There was nothing he could do.
What a strange play.
Yeah, there was nothing, though, Green could have done. I think, honestly, they may have been setting up the screen, but Green just saw the man in front of him and said, I can't.
And it's smart of him to tuck it in there because, like we've seen a lot of fumbles here tonight, so 5 total fumbles, only 1 lost from Douglas, but really smart play to tuck it in there if indeed it was a screen and it was just a blown-up play.
Devils looking at a long 3rd and 21.
Yeah,
it looks like, yeah.
Yeah.
It took me a minute because it's wrong on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you're right. I was looking at that as well. It almost looks further than 20 yards, but I know that's absolutely right.
He'll take
Jet Sweet.
Just a blown play there. The play blew up in the backfield on them. It was supposed to be a jet sweep and almost caught by the end that's coming around, by the wide receiver coming around for the sweep, and it got there a little too soon and hit the ground.
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here saying line up under center, but, a lot of these fumbles we've seen are on these shotgun snaps. It's just a way to surefire that exchange, then give the ball right off to the running back, maybe you get a positive play going.
And that's a highly technical play.
Absolutely. So many moving parts, and like you say, it's not shotgun snap. It almost hit the wide receiver coming around, so you're absolutely right. Tons of moving parts there.
And that has to be timed so perfectly that it's a really big risk when you're that close to your own end zone. Handoff now to Cerniglia, and he got in.
Big run by Cerniglia.
Just gave it to him, and I'll be quiet.
Wait,
he's
what happened there? Cerniglia ends up with the ball and the touchdown. Okay, so now it is a touchdown. At first, it looked like the referee was waving it off.
Oh, really?
That's why I said what happened there. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't clear. Yeah, I said what happened there because it looked like the referee waved it off. It is a touchdown now. Ben Cerniglia, and the extra point up and good by Braxton Brown. So we're out to 42-0 now for the Cougars, 7:53 to go in the half. You're watching Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
Go on, girl. Go on and get help. That's it, girl.
Smart dog. With Farmer's Crash Assist, our Signal app can tell when you've been in a crash and can send help if you want it. Also, our Signal app can save you up to 15% on your auto insurance.
That's really something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmer's Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Now, for back here in Munford to watch the Cougars take on the Red Devils. Cougars got this one right now, 42-0, 7:13 to go, and they've already started a running clock here on this game because of the deficit. Now, if they do it in the first half, both sides have to agree. Well, actually, I think if they do it at all, both sides have to agree. But definitely this early in the game, I don't think it matters what the deficit is. But both teams can't agree to it, and so they have. So we'll have a running clock from here on out as Munford has just taken over from play number one.
Another little short kick.
Yeah, it'll be fielded. And, oh, wow. Hunter Gill.
It looked almost like Hunter Gill was shaking up. He hit the player so hard.
Hunter Gill flattens Goldsby on that one. And what looked like it might have a little bit of a chance at a return went 2 yards.
Another little pooch kick right there after we saw the last couple really booted. It's just interesting to see Braxton Brown obviously has a good leg. He's looked good on all the extra points we've seen. And like I said, he booted that one. But a couple short kicks, maybe Munford has that strategy coming in here. They're trying to kick it short, not out-kick your coverage.
So to go back to the last series, just to sort of recap, because I don't feel like we gave Ben Cerniglia his due.
Great run.
It was a great run and a great handoff. After fourth down and a turnover on downs, the Munford offense jumped out there fairly quickly, and Cerniglia runs it in for the Munford touchdown.
Cerniglia on both sides of the ball. We've seen him in the backfield. You know, I'm not sure he's made a tackle in the backfield yet, but he's definitely been in on some tackles and another big run there. So a player that can do it on both sides of the ball for the senior. Really good football player.
Douglas in his shotgun, low snap again. He's going to have to get closer to the center.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all. He's just got to line up a yard closer to the center.
I mean, and we're talking about not getting a good push up front. The amount of time it takes if the snap is low or high every time, especially if it starts rolling on the ground the way it is, it's just precious seconds that you lose up front.
You know, the way to beat, though, this, if you want to stay in the shotgun, and I sort of understand if you're, you know, because they're breaking through the line so quickly, you might want to have some space. But the way to beat a defense like this is some quick screens.
Yeah, absolutely. Which we've seen him do once, and like we said, it looks like a blown play on that last one. But if that ball's going to be low, we got to get that ball out faster, all those precious seconds.
Run a couple of screens in the flats or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe.
You got two running backs lined up in the backfield. Really good opportunity to have a blocker and a screen in addition to the lineman you'd have pulling.
Munford defense showing no let up on this Douglas Red Devils team tonight.
The band I see already on the field for Munford, the famous Munford band. I'm excited to see them at halftime.
Douglas taking the full play clock now to call their plays on this one. So there's a good snap and a fake hand. No, and he hands it off. I'm sorry. It goes to
looks like
44, Terrence Watson.
Mm-hmm. Really good run up front. A good, like you said, a good snap. Finally got a good one there and a good opportunity up front to get a good run.
It was I didn't think Watson had the ball, and I think that's what got Munford too, is that you're so used to seeing the quarterback fake the handoff and keep it that that's what they were looking for, and they just let Watson slip on by.
First down in the game for Douglas, and also could be another instance like we saw in that big return earlier, maybe getting a little over-aggressive. You got so many tackles for loss, so many plays, you've stopped in the backfield. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't a first down. Not quite a first down, third down here. Saw a big play. I just wanted it to be a first down for Douglas.
So a little bit of confidence builder there for Douglas. We'll see what they do with the momentum. Takes a snap and hands it off again. This is met in the backfield and destroyed.
Big Aaron Estes on the tackle there. The freshman getting in there, getting a big wrap up there, and some help from his teammates after the fact.
Already starting to see some of that depth on that Munford line. Actually, it looks like for the Munford line,
new folks in there, new faces.
I don't see any starters out there right now.
Still some big boys out there, though. Really big, good. That's great to have defensive line depth like that. Depth on both sides of the line, on offense and defense in high school football. I think it's really key. If you can have some big hog mollies blocking for you up front, you have you can do some things.
Absolutely. So it'll be 4th down now, and Douglas will go for it.
4th and about 4 short here. Oh, no.
Oh, it's going to be a punt.
We talked about that earlier.
He gets it away. No returner in the backfield, but it's not a great punt, but they are going to get it down to the 41-yard line, and that's where Munford will take over. We'll be right back with the rest of the first half. It's a running clock. Actually, let's keep it here, Brandon. Let's keep it here, because the clock's running and we only got about 1:37 left, and Munford gets on the ball quick.
You know, with how explosive their offense has been, what are we, flipping sides? Oh, obviously we're flipping sides. We're going this way now. With how explosive their offense has been, you know, it might not be that many plays. And in 1:20 with a running clock, let's see if they can get in the end zone here. This will be interesting.
All right, it is Bell in the shotgun.
Man.
He's going to go for it.
What
They're looking
throw.
for it. Oh, he's got it. Oh, Hodgen, he just overthrew him just a little bit.
Off his back foot.
Akarius Hodgen had a step on the defender, and he threw it off his back foot, like you said, and that he just sailed it a little bit.
A really impressive throw, though. I mean, for the given the circumstances, getting rushed hard, hands in his face, off his back foot. I mean, that was a really good ball. It almost looked like the receiver there, Hodgen, hesitated for just a second.
Bell's going to line up with Durham in the backfield. He is going to take the snap and make a quick throw out to his left. That'll get the first down and some more. Looks like about a 20-yard completion right there. And it'll be Jeremiah Davis,
the fullback. Really good throw. I mean, it's really not hard to see.
It's a really nice run by the fullback.
Yeah, really nice run. It's really not hard to see why Bell is a college recruit. I mean, he throws the ball really well in a bunch of different circumstances. That was just a little dump off there, but still a really nice throw nonetheless. Oh, low snap.
Bell handles it. Now he's looking for the end zone again. It's Akarius Hodgen again. He got it. And he will go down before he gets to the end zone, but what a catch by Akarius Hodgen.
Beautiful catch, beautiful throw again.
Watch this on the replay.
Unbelievable.
Oh, maybe a little bit of a push-off,
yeah.
But it wasn't necessary. He gets it down to the 1-yard line, but that'll end the half due to the running clock. And the Munford Cougars in control of this one, 42-0. We'll have a running clock in the second half as well. We'll step away before we start the halftime show. You're watching Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh, yeah!
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh yeah!
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have two cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Received a call about a cable box not working at Miss Betty's home, and while they're replacing the cable box, I noticed an extremely long cable.
I went to move my furniture around and it just stopped working.
A long cable like that could affect signal levels and eventually cause her cable service to go out.
Michael took it up on his own and fixed it for me. Now I can FaceTime with my niece and nephew because we don't get to visit too often. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's how Ritter's making it right.
Right by me.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh yeah!
Welcome back in to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, Munford, Tennessee, home of the Munford Cougars. Watching Cougar football here on Ritter Communications. Chad Gatlin, Jay Hardiman calling the game for you, and it is a Munford Cougar night tonight, 42-0. at the half. We have seen an explosive Munford offense that doesn't take many plays to score, and then a stingy Munford defense.
Really getting good push on both the offensive and defensive line. We've seen them run it off tackle, Munford that is, run it off tackle, run it up the gut, running it really well, and passing it really well. We mentioned it earlier, really balanced on throwing it and passing it, which is really what you'd like to see if you're Munford in the first half.
Yeah, it's the most balanced we've seen the offense so far, and it's also the most we've seen a showcase of an entire player portfolio rather from Jordan Bell.
Oh.
We've seen his skill across the breadth of the quarterback position tonight with his passing ability and his running ability.
I mean, and he can do, like you say, he could do it both really well, but I've been really impressed with his throwing the ball on the move. He had one early. He almost threw that pick. That's really the only bad ball we've seen him throw all night, and to tell you the truth, it still looked really good. So I mean, he clearly has a lot of arm strength, but I think the running game from an assortment of different players, I've 6 guys that have run the ball so far for Munford, so really can do it on all fronts, and that's a really versatile offense from them.
Absolutely. We are under a running clock, and so we will be when we come back for the second half. And Munford out to such a commanding lead. We expect to see mostly second teamers and maybe even more of the depth chart as we go into the game, but it will give us a chance to look at what Munford has up and coming down the depth chart. We know there are a couple of good players there, but we'll get to see some more, I'm imagining, before the game's over.
And we've already seen some young ones on the defensive line get some reps, and they've looked good. So like you said, excited to see young guys play. I have a few first-half stats for you here as well. Like we said, 42 points from Munford in the first half, 266 total yards, 123 of those on the ground, 143 in the air, those all coming from Jordan Bell. He's 4 of 6, so only 2 incomplete passes. The one beautiful ball we saw in the last drive there that was incomplete, and the one almost interception. So like we say, really looking good for Munford, and almost 300 yards in the first half. You really can't do much better than that.
Absolutely, and I'm trying to pull some scores up here for a halftime score update around the area, but unfortunately the internet is not cooperating with us. I'll try to get that for you in the break, and if we have time before the second half kicks off, I'll let you know what's going on then. You are watching and or listening, because we are on the radio as well. If you have to get in the car and run get some more chips or dip or whatever, we're on the radio at 106.9 FM here in the Munford area, also on 7:30 a.m. over in Arkansas. And you can watch us live on Facebook and on Ritter Tubetown. We'll come back for the second half of Munford Cougar football as they're dominating the Douglas Red Devils on Ritter Communications.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh yeah!
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh, yeah!
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33 and a half years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Received a call about a cable box not working at Miss Betty's home, and while they're replacing the cable box, I noticed I had extremely long cable.
I went to move my furniture around and it just stopped working.
A long cable like that could affect signal levels and eventually cause her cable service to go out.
Michael took it up on his own and fixed it for me. Now I can FaceTime with my niece and nephew because we don't get to visit too often. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's how Ritter's making it right.
Right by me.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh, yeah!
Halftime still at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium. Cougar football on Ritter Communications Tubetown. Don't forget to tune in for Championship Wrestling, which also airs here on Tubetown as well with your Ritter subscription. And Ritter also offers gig speed internet. Don't forget that. And you can use that gig speed internet to watch next Friday's game on Facebook. We'll have Dyersburg right here again at the Munford Cougars Stadium. And that one promises to be a good game. As Dyersburg comes in with a lot of power, and it'll be the first region game for Munford of the year. I do have some scores from around the area to update you. Haywood leads Crockett County right now 35-7 at the half. No update yet from the the Covington-Millington game has been canceled due to COVID. I just found that out. So the two arch rivals of the Munford Cougars had a game against each other tonight, and that game was canceled due to COVID.
Wow.
A couple stats.
I've got two from the Shelby County area. Collierville 12, White Station 6 at halftime, and a big game. Germantown and Whitehaven, two of the best teams in the area, squaring off tonight at Germantown. That went 0-0 at halftime.
Oh wow! And Bartlett leads Arlington 22-7. Brighton's game against Overton also canceled because of COVID. So that is an two in-district teams for Munford having to cancel a game due to COVID tonight. That will have ramifications for the playoff down the road, as we saw last year. Brighton and Munford, the only teams in the district playing in 8-5A that played at all, so they both made the playoffs last year, and they had to play one game to figure out who won the district. Fayette Ware leads Craigmont right now 35-12. Milan leading Ripley 7-0 in that one, and that is your score update, and we'll step away for another moment here on Tubetown, and when we come back, we'll kick off the second half of Munford and Douglas.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch championship wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh yeah!
My name is Donna Ann Lucy. I am from Caraway, Arkansas. I had been having trouble with my internet.
You got a lot of important things that you do from the internet, and you don't want to miss anything.
I usually use it to book rooms to watch my granddaughter play basketball. They had someone out that day, and it was back up within 20 minutes.
And it makes me feel so good to go there and take care of it, you know, and see the smile on her face, man. That makes my day right there.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch championship wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh yeah!
I'm James Finley, and I'm from Jasper, Arkansas. We came in to have my mother's service turned on, and she needed to pick a plan. They were patient, answered every question, and there were a lot of questions.
We just took our time with her and wanted to make sure she had everything she needed.
You could see that they genuinely cared about my mother.
I don't want to go into a store and be treated like just another number. That's not how we roll in Jasper. Treat people how you want to be treated.
My name is Raynessa Chandler. I am currently the manager of technical support for Ritter Communications. Ritter is like family in more ways than one. My aunt retired after 33.5 years here, and currently I have 2 cousins that work at Ritter. We have a variety of talented individuals. They motivate us and encourage us to do the right thing. We're grateful for the opportunity to work at a place such as Ritter and to be able to help others, because that's what it's all about, serving others.
Received a call about a cable box not working at Miss Betty's home, and while they're replacing the cable box, I noticed an extremely long cable.
I went to move my furniture around and it stopped working.
A long cable like that could affect signal levels and eventually cause her cable service to go out.
Michael took it up on his own and fixed it for me. Now I can FaceTime with my niece and nephew because we don't get to visit too often. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. That's how Ritter's making it right.
Right by me.
Our dog got hit by a car. My wife and children were very upset about losing Buddy. While I was burying the dog, I cut the cable line.
Being a dog owner myself, it's hard losing a pet. So it's very important for us to get their services restored.
There's a winter storm hitting right now. It was a Friday night. You showed up and the very next morning in some pretty terrible conditions and fixed us up.
That's what we try to do here at Ritter in a bad situation, try to make it better.
Memphis Wrestling is coming to Tubetown.
Catch Championship Wrestling from Memphis every Saturday at noon right here on Ritter Communications Tubetown.
Oh, yeah!
Getting ready to kick off the second half here at Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium with Munford leading Douglas 42-0. Chad Gatlin, Jay Hardiman in here, and the loud smack you just heard, I believe, was them trying to kill a wasp in the press box back here. It's been all Munford all night. We do want to update you, however, on some of the scores. First of all, over on our other crew with Ritter Communications Tubetown is over in Arkansas, as always. They've got Brooklyn leading Westside 14-6 at halftime. And that one is over on the Tubetown YouTube channel. You can check that out. And, Jay, you've got some college football score. A lot of college football going on week one tonight.
Some good games, too. This one just went final. Virginia Tech beats North Carolina, number 10 North Carolina, with Heisman hopeful Sam Howell, 17-10. Wow. Duke, not known for a powerhouse football program, but they're losing to Charlotte, 17-14. And early in the first quarter, Michigan State's up 7-0 on Northwestern. So some really good action tonight going on in college football.
Absolutely. It is great to see football back in full swing. And we saw a little bit of stuff in week 0, but I always love week 1. Man.
Oh, yeah. Well, week 0, it just
I know, yeah,
high school football, you got some of that too, but, it doesn't have the same feeling as week 1 of the season.
Exactly right. I feel the same way. And I do like now, though, how we get good games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to start out the year. It seems like a great way to kick it off.
And it's great for those small, the smaller conferences that get that exposure on weeknight games. Those are the leagues that I might not otherwise watch, and I love that they should be able to be showcased by just playing on a Thursday night, too.
Yeah, true. And last night, of course, weather delay affected it a lot, but you had two of the biggest group of 5 programs. Boise State played UCF. It's a hotly anticipated game, and probably would have been a ratings monster had it not been for a 3-hour weather delay.
Right. But, Mother Nature sometimes has a different idea.
Amazing comeback, though, by the Knights last night. Down 21-0 early in the game, and Gus Malzahn, in his first game as Knights head coach, able to bring UCF back for the victory.
A revenge game against the University of Auburn in that one. I really am looking for him to have a big season this year with like you said, with that Auburn firing.
We'll have 8-minute quarters here in the second half as agreed upon in this game with a running clock. So a fairly short second half here. Short kickoff.
Ball
is fielded down at the 30 and down.
Good hustle there by Isaiah Pete to get on that football, which is what we've talked about all game. If you're Munford in this game and you're looking forward to the whole season in this early season matchup, you want to see hustle like that, especially out of your special teams deep into this football game. That's the kind of resiliency and mental fortitude you have, even when you're up big or down big, to be able to continue to play each play like it's 0-0 ball game.
And it looks like we'll still mostly see the ones out of Douglas. Now, it's partially because Douglas is not a very big school. As I said before, this is their first year in 3A. They're normally a 2A school. This is their first year to move up to 3A, and they don't have a very big roster. They only are fielding about 27 players, I think.
What it looks like.
And so with them, you're going to see their starters for the whole night, but so you're also going to get a good look at what they look like against starters, what Munford's second string looks like against starters.
It's good exposure for both of them, honestly.
Handoff and down in the backfield. Oh, ball's loose. And and Munford has recovered. Head referee says yes, Munford got on that fumble, and first play out for a lot of these players, and coming up big are the Cougars.
The 8th fumble of the game for Douglas. Only the second one they've lost, though. And I think it's really interesting. One play other than the kickoff has been run so far, and we're already 2 minutes down into this third quarter. So this running clock, especially with 8 minutes, is really going to get eaten up fast. And I think it's important to look at if you're Munford getting these young guys some reps.
I did notice the clock started running on the referee's whistle, not on the kick.
Before the kick even happened.
Before the kick happened, right.
That's crazy. Never seen anything like that before.
So Munford will come out on offense, and we'll see an all-new offense. Let's see who's in at quarterback. Looks like it's going to be somebody who's not on the depth chart. Hand off to number 12, though. He'll go around the end, and he'll get close to the first down, a run of about 10 yards.
Great run by Isaiah Pete there, and it looked like they had
Isaiah Pete and number 15 in at quarterback, and I don't have him on my roster.
Neither do I. It looked like the kicker, Braxton Brown, was lined up wide there at receiver, so getting a lot of guys, a lot of experience in some different positions here.
Quarterback will take the snap again, and this time he'll keep it for himself as he tries to run around the end, get a couple of yards there, and able to convert for the first down.
I wonder if 15 is a situation of getting a guy a different number so he could be eligible at quarterback for the second half. I don't know if that's how it works in high school football or not, but I could see that. I could foresee that being a scenario.
You know, I don't know all the rules around it, so I couldn't answer that. I'm going to try to get a name for you here in a minute, though, as we see him take the snap again, this time hand it off up the middle and trying to get a little bit shifty but unable to make much happen. Aiden Macklin, he'll get about 1.5 yards maybe on that one. And we'll see them line up in the shotgun again. He'll bring Macklin around to his right side. Got two receivers, one on each side, putting a man in motion now. It's Cameron Agee, and he's going to hand it off to Cameron Agee on the end around. It's going to go, no, it's sniffed out immediately by the Douglas defense.
Agee had one man to beat there and just couldn't quite get around that edge, just maybe a step too slow, but it's a good look right there by Munford offense. Looks like they're going to try and find creative ways to run the ball in the second half. So, look for a lot of different guys getting the ball in a lot of different ways, I'd imagine.
Terrence Watson, Johnny on the spot there for the Red Devils. Snap here and a handoff straight up the middle and nowhere. Maybe with forward progress down to the line of scrimmage for Isaiah Pete.
So maybe some new guys getting reps on the offensive line right now for Munford, guys that don't normally get a lot of burn there, and you can kind of see Douglas taking advantage of that. These are the best pushes on the D-line I think we've seen all game from them.
Yeah, I see we've got Edwin Williams, Jalen Payne, Trey Scott up there on the front line for Munford. And now, man in motion. The snap is bobbled and lost, and it looks like Douglas will recover this one. The Red Devils able to recover. It just bounced off the chest of the quarterback here.
Oh, man.
And he just could not get to it. Heads-up play by the Douglas defender. Had his eye on the ball the entire time.
Kind of like playing receiver when you're in a shotgun. You got to see it all the way into your hands, one thing at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself there. And it looks like he just took his eye off the football.
Scored 5 times.
So Douglas will get the ball on offense and now get to go up against some of the reserves for Munford here. We're already down to 2 minutes left in the third quarter as we're on that running clock in the 8-minute quarters.
Another pistol look, it looks like, here from Douglas.
Yeah, they're going to fake the handoff, and he's going to run around the edge. He's going to find the room this time. He's going to get the first down and then more. A run of about 17 yards there for Dorian Green. Caleb Driscoll on the tackle for that one.
And you mentioned at the start of the half, too, with these 1s versus 2s that you're seeing right now as more guys get some reps here, you're really starting to see Douglas get a better push. Some of the inexperience on this Munford offense and defensive depth chart is kind of starting to show its face a little bit.
And it's good for some of these Munford second and third team guys to get beat every now and then in a game situation and see what they can do.
Mm-hmm. Face some adversity.
Fake handoff again. He's going to try to keep it. He wastes a lot of time in the backfield and then gets taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Good play by the defensive end for the Cougars.
Looks like we've got a man down for Douglas. And maybe just a little knock on the knee. He'll come off the field, but he'll come off under his own power.
You know, when you're playing every down like a lot of the guys for Douglas are, it's understandable to get banged up a little bit play from play here, even if it's just a little stinger. Absolutely. You know, football's a physical game like that, especially when you're one of the big hog mollies up front.
And playing both ways.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. You betcha.
But, yeah, he just couldn't find a hole. He kept looking for a hole. Looks like they're probably going to let the clock run down on this one to the fourth quarter. About 17 seconds left and counting.
Oh,
they're running up to the line now. Looks like they're going to try to get one snap off before the end of the quarter.
Maybe try and draw him off. Maybe a little fake.
Got two receivers wide, two men in the backfield, going to fake a handoff and then take it himself and get to the line of scrimmage and nowhere else.
Tough play to watch.
And that will wrap up the third quarter. Munford 42-0 over the Red Devils. Final quarter coming up as you watch Cougar football on Ritter Communications.
Go on, girl. Go on and get help. That's it, girl.
Smart dog. With Farmer's Crash Assist, our Signal app can tell when you've been in a crash and can send help if you want it. Also, our Signal app can save you up to 15% on your auto insurance.
That's really something.
Get a whole lot of something with Farmer's Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Back here in Munford, make sure you tune in next Friday. Munford has Dyersburg coming here to Dr. Sid Witherington Stadium, and we'll have that game. It'll kick off at 7 p.m. right here on Ritter Tubetown and live on the Ritter Communications Facebook page.
That's set to be a really good one. I mean, I'm really excited to come out and watch that one. I'm excited to see more Jordan Bell, too, maybe against a little defense that gives him a little more resistance and really see what kind of recruit he can be as he gets older here.
Douglas will get Kingsbury next week, and that will be – and they'll actually play them on Thursday. That will be an interesting game from Munford's perspective because that is a common opponent for the two of these. And
their only common opponent, as you mentioned earlier.
Munford will be able to gauge kind of where they are in the district. And it's a good catch there.
Got hit.
He hangs on to it, got hit, but gets the first down for Douglas. I believe their first down of the night.
It is. You're absolutely right, which is a big play there. They've had a couple big plays, one return, a big run there after they lost, I think, 5 or 6 yards on first down. So they've had a 10-yard play, but you're right, the first one that they've converted into a first down.
Well, Jay, Munford was picked by the Commercial Appeal to finish first in 8-5A for the second year in a row. Now, last year, as I said, they had to win one game. They beat Brighton. They won 8-5A. But this year, full schedule, presumably, although we've seen some games get canceled, and they were the favorite by the Commercial Appeal to finish number one. They're certainly looking like it tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, ball.
And in the backfield, he's able to get it back. Oh, he's able to make a couple guys miss, but he dropped the ball again. Now it's picked up by another Douglas player, and he's going to make a few misses. He's gone. He's going to get to the end zone with this one. They will not get blanked tonight. The Douglas Red Devils make something out of nothing and get into the end zone.
Well, they now have just as many touchdown runs as they have first down runs. So 1-1 right there. But a big run right there. Made a lot of guys miss. Another example, we talk about it. Sometimes, a blown play like that, guys are so aggressive to get out there, you just get a little hole of space, and that's what happened there. Only had to beat one man, and he was gone.
Dorian Green shakes a couple of guys off, and then it looks like he's going down. Next thing you know, Larry Watkins has the ball in his hands, hits it around the edge, and goes in for the touchdown. Now, obviously, they'll go for 2 here. Not that it makes a huge difference, but they just want to get the offensive reps in.
Absolutely.
Great play, and I'm tickled for the Douglas.
And, that's 2, honestly, it's 2 positive plays in a row for them. Maybe a third one right here, put 8 points on the board.
Snap goes to number 2. He'll go all the way out wide and work it in for the 2-point conversion, and so will not be a shutout for Munford tonight. 42-8, the Cougars lead over Douglas, and we'll come right back for the kickoff on Ritter Communications.
At Ritter Communications, we're dedicated to being a caring community partner. We invest in the communities we serve by supporting local nonprofits, academic programs, local athletics, and events that bring us together. We create the connections that strengthen our communities. Ritter Communications, right by you.
Douglas on the board late in this one with 5:17 to go in the 4th quarter of the game. Douglas able to put those points up on the board. A botched snap. Then looked like the quarterback was going to be down in the backfield, and Larry Watkins pops out with the ball, makes a couple of men miss, and gets it all the way into the end zone for the Red Devils. Then they punched in for the 2-point conversion, so here we are.
You don't have to draw a picture. You just got to write down the numbers on the stat sheet, and that's true right there. When you have 2 fumbles on a play and pick it up and have a big one. But I think you mentioned it earlier. It's good to have those young guys have to face some adversity and getting those 2s and 3s reps against the starting. Even though, it's a team that you're up big on, it's still a starting offense here and defense here in older kids than them, and it's just good experience for the guys to have to face some adversity like that.
And when they face their own division, this will help Douglas.
Absolutely. Smaller schools.
And it was a good piece of running no matter who you're playing against.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Jace Hodgen gets flipped over and taken down by Terrence Watson. He wanted a bigger return than that. He didn't think his knee touched the ground, so he wanted to keep going.
He was certainly close, but I think he's going to lose that fight. And, only 4 minutes left here in the game. We've seen this offense be really explosive, but 4 minutes here, this might be the last drive of the game. This very well could be the last drive of the game.
Absolutely. It could, like you said, running clock. We're down under 4 minutes.
It seemed like it happened out of nowhere, too. Just all of a sudden we look up at the clock. It's 4 minutes left.
And so we do have a name. That's Aiden Jones at quarterback there, number 15, Aiden Jones. And he'll call for the snap, handed off to Jace Hodgen. But before the handoff's even completed, Hodgen is brought down in the backfield. And it looked like Jones was still wanting to pull that one out of the belly. But nonetheless, it ends up with Hodgen on the ground.
Looked like just a missed block there up front. Young guys up front, a little bit. And that's where you're going to see youth show the most, I think, is on the offensive and defensive lines.
3 receivers out, and it's going to be a delay quarterback run. Jones will straight up truck one guy, but he hangs onto a leg and brings him down. Gain of about 11 there.
That was actually a huge hole that was created right there by the Munford offensive line. Just a little bit of dancing in the backfield. That play could have gone for a first down.
So a design run by the quarterback there. It was a very good he sold the fake on the pass very well, I thought.
I agree. Oh, jet sweep. Ooh.
Jones brings a man in motion, but he'll let him come all the way around and get set up. It's Garcia. He'll take the snap and run it again. Oh, huge hole up the middle. Makes a linebacker miss. Now trucks a safety. Oh, but he loses the ball at the end of the play. He's able to get it back. He is able to get it back.
A heat-seeking missile right there going after the safety, and there's still a scrum on the ground for a ball.
Well, they both want to say that they had the ball, and anybody that has played football knows you don't let go until the referee makes you.
You do not, especially when you don't know whose ball it is. You're on that ground. You're fighting for it. You didn't see the ref's hand. You didn't see what he –
That's
You
right.
didn't hear the whistle blow. You're just going after it. Quick to the line here by Munford.
But it did go back to Jones as he absolutely ran over the safety.
Low man wins, right?
Jones takes the snap again. He'll run again. He gets a little bit of a hold this time. Oh, but he just bounces off a tackler. Now gang tackled in the secondary. And about a 15-yard run there out of Jones.
Player for Douglas down in the backfield there. It's, like we said earlier, it's hard to blame these guys. They're playing both sides of the ball for 4 quarters. You know, you're going to get banged up, and especially as you get down here, as the clock ticks down, you're going to see a lot of guys probably get hurt or at least go down for a minute here with some stingers.
Minute 41 and counting. Takes the snap, running himself again. He'll pop all the way out to the outside. Now he'll cut back in, make one guy miss, and runs it in, and he is into the end zone, and another touchdown. Aiden Jones first, and 47 points on the board now.
I'll tell you what.
For the 49 points, 8 points, excuse me, for the Munford Cougars.
Excuse
wow.
me, I stepped on you there, but a really good cut there by Aiden Jones. I mean, regardless of what's going on in the game, that's still a really good cut. He hit 3 guys to beat on the outside, made 2 of them overcommit, cut up field. Really good run there by the young fella.
It was a really good. He made, and I don't have 7, but it was whoever was number 7 for Douglas there. He made a cut on him just out of his shoes, faked him out of his shoes. He's going to try to run it in for the 2-point conversion here. It does not look like he got there, and indeed he did not.
That clock ticks down too, but it looks like nobody moved on the snap. Both teams looked like they froze on the snap there. It was strange to see. It's a strange situation.
And so it'll be 48-8 Munford as 30 seconds tick off the clock. I don't believe either team will bother to come out and run the kickoff on this one. So we'll watch it count down as the Cougars will come away with a 48-8 victory here tonight over the Douglas Red Devils, and momentum as they go to 2-1. The Red Devils drop to 1-2. Munford will enter league play against Dyersburg next week with a record of 2-1 and momentum on their side. Big games tonight, Jay, out of Avik White and Jordan Bell.
Oh, huge game from those guys, and really good to see. You know, in a game like this, you probably had anticipated what the result was going to be coming in. But regardless, I mean, deep into the second quarter, all the way down to halftime, some really good drives by Munford, showed a lot of mental resiliency. You know, regardless of what you think the score is, it's still difficult to get up when you're up 42-0 or whatever the score might be, to play each play like it's 0-0. And I thought Munford did a heck of a job tonight doing exactly that.
Come join us next week as Dyersburg comes in. Also, over in Arkansas, that game is still in the third quarter, and you'll be able to see that on the Tubetown YouTube channel. It's 13-11 right now. 14-12 now as Brooklyn leads West Side in that one. So come see us next week. Dyersburg in Munford. For Jay Hardiman, Brandon Reed, and Nathan up on the camera, this is Chad Gatlin saying good night from Munford and Ritter Communications.
And here's the thing, both teams.